I'm News for Jackson Chief Meteorologist David Heckard. And the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, announced their 2023 Atlantic hurricane forecast on Thursday. And it was a small surprise because instead of a below average season, which some people were anticipating, they're actually forecasting a near average season. So here are the official numbers again from NOAA that came out on Thursday. They're forecasting 12 to 17 named storms, 5 to 9 hurricanes, and 1 to 4 major hurricanes. Now, it's kind of good news and bad news here. The good news is they are forecasting numbers a little bit lower than what we had last year. We had 14 named storms last year, 8 hurricanes, 2 major hurricanes. If you remember, really the last 3 years, 2020, 2021, and 2022, had very, very active campaigns, with last year being a little bit quieter. And here's the 30-year average. We have 14 named storms on average, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. So you can see these forecast numbers here line up very close to what would be anticipated in the Atlantic Basin in a quote-unquote typical year. And the NOAA is really keeping an eye on two very distinct things. Now, you're going to hear a lot about this in the coming months, and that's El Nino, which is when warm water develops out here off the coast of Peru, stays for a long extended period of time, and continues to develop out into portions of the central Pacific. And what that does is that really changes the weather patterns across the globe. And in the tropical Atlantic, what that means is a lot more wind shear over the Caribbean and what we call the main development region, or MDR. And what that does is it doesn't end development, but it kind of suppresses development. Tropical storms have a more difficult time of becoming hurricanes. Tropical waves have a more difficult time of becoming tropical storms. So we just normally see in an El Nino year a much lower number of named storms, hurricanes, and major hurricanes. So why the near average rating? Well, it's this right here, and that's the water temperatures. Notice all of this orange and red that shows up really from the Gulf of Mexico all the way back now into portions of Africa. And this corridor right here has a lot of people's attention, from the Bahamas all the way south into the Bay of Campeche, further south into the Caribbean Sea. All this water is exceptionally warm for this time of year, and you only need water temperatures at around 80 degrees to really develop and sustain tropical development. And so because of the fact we have a lot of warm water, and the final key piece is we are anticipating a pretty active African monsoon, what that does is create more and more tropical waves that float off the coast of Africa, which can develop into tropical systems. Kind of putting all the puzzle pieces together, NOAA's feeling it kind of ends up being kind of a normal season, with the big deterrent being El Nino and the big plus being those well above normal water temperatures, and again, that enhanced African monsoon. I'm Assistant Chief Meteorologist David Heckard for Channel 4, the local station.